Bull or bear? Let's see if I can keep it on the table tonight. It looks like it's going to be a... There we go, it's a bear. Well, the coin's not always right. Hey, what's up? This is Brian Kuzmar with Commercial Rare Coins and Precious Metals in beautiful Lauderdale by the Sea. Got the live Deerfield underwater cam up and lots of Sergeant Majors down there dancing around. Those are cute little fellows, aren't they? Look downs. Man, they're always around that pier. Anyways, very relaxing pier, a little murky tonight, so not really good. And most of you that live in South Florida know where the Deerfield Pier is. Been around a long time. I think I fished there when I was, I fished there a lot when I was a kid with my father, actually, as well. Well, let's take a look at the overnight markets. And, well, first, the quote of the day. And I did not fact check this to see if Douglas MacArthur actually said this. And whether you agree with Douglas MacArthur or not, whether you like him politically or not, I kind of like this little quote here. By MacArthur, I'm not sure if it is for sure. Again, didn't fact check it, but I'm sure someone will let me know. Our government has kept us in a perpetual state of fear, kept us in a continuous stampede of patriotic fervor, with the cry of grave national emergency. Always, there has been some terrible evil at home, or some monstrous foreign power that was going to gobble us up if we didn't blindly rally behind it. That's General Douglas MacArthur. If he indeed said that, lots of creds to him for saying that particular statement, because, man, it couldn't be any more truer, except in the United States, that cry of grave national emergency is either one party or another, or in reality, the truth of the matter is we're being screwed by both parties. But the cry of grave and national emergency, we've heard it from Republicans, we've heard it from Democrats, we've heard it from the deep state, or the so-called deep state, whatever you want to believe that. And I really believe that the deep state does run this country. I know some people are going to trash me for being conspiratorial here, but in some ways, I believe that like Eisenhower talked about, and like MacArthur talks about right here, we do have a military-industrial complex. We do spend an enormous amount of money on the military. And that's not to take anything away from people, the average working guy that has gone and fought for the military. But remember, it's run by politicians. It's also, there's a huge amount of money made off wars. There's a huge amount of money made off. And it's never money made by the widows or the children that have lost their fathers and mothers in war. It's never made. That money is never made by the widows themselves. It's never made by the parents that have lost kids in war. It's always made by the major corporations that work with the military-industrial complex. And I know I'm getting off on the tangent here, but I like this saying right here, and I believe this. I believe this a lot. I think right now we're in great danger of being led into unnecessary wars. We already have. We've done it for a long time. Our foreign policy has been horrible for decades and decades. Our idea that we can do regime changes and make something good of it has been a bullshit narrative that we've heard for decades. We know that we do regime changes. That's what happened in Ukraine in 2014. This is what's happened, and what they tried to make happen in Syria. This is what's happened. But think about it. Even what we consider our successful regime changes caused by, that we've created through color revolutions, so-called color revolutions and such, nothing's ever turned out well for any of the countries that we've tried to, pay, rescue, freedom, democratize. I mean, nothing's ever turned out well for them. Who's really made a lot of money from it? The people behind the curtains that make a lot of money off weapons and make a lot of money off wars. And, hey, let me put this in quotation marks, finance wars. Ready? So anyway, I'm going to get out of there, but I think we're in great danger, again, of being led into places that we don't really need to be. A great distraction is war, too. It's always has been for politicians, kings, queens in the past. When things are looking really grim for kings, queens, presidents, people that run countries, what do? They start wars. You know why? Because it's a distraction. It's like donuts for Homer Simpsons. It's a distraction, okay? Nothing else matters, all right? So, and unfortunately, folks, I think we're in a mood right now, and the party that calls themselves the party of peace, or they've always been so called the party of peace, the party of humans, they as far as war goes, they've been anything but for a long, long time. But let's move out of there. I like this saying. What does this have to do with gold, silver, and precious metals? Well, I'll tell you what it has to do with gold, silver, and precious metals. As long as you let war hawks, whether they call themselves liberals, Democrats, Republicans, whatever they may call themselves, as long as you let war hawks run the operation, which they've been for decades, all right? Nothing good is going to come from that. Nothing good is going to come from that. And in fact, a lot of these people never met a war they didn't mind their sending your kids to die off in. So, McCain, I'm sorry, John Bolton, clearing my throat there. Well, let me get out of there because it's a dangerous place for me to be as a precious metals guy. And what has this got to do with precious metals? I said it the second time. You put these people in control, you're definitely going to destroy whatever economies and currencies that you have. You're going to destroy the middle class, the poor, and you're going to make the rich richer that are involved with the military-industrial complex and the deep state. Just my opinion. Hey, take it for what it is. Let's look at precious metal prices just freaking sideways. There's nothing to talk about and this is great in some degree. I think this is really good, folks, when everything else is tanking across the world, when the economies are tanking, when currencies are tanking, when equity markets are tanking, and it looks like real estate markets are going to tanking. Gold and silver and platinum are kind of holding a certain level. Now, does that mean that we couldn't see much lower levels on gold, silver, and platinum in the paper markets? No, because you can never underestimate the crooks at COMEX. I'm sorry, that's just my opinion. The COMEX markets and what they allow the big commercials to do. And apparently now too, there's some managed money that's in the big short positions as well. So things are kind of really screwing the precious metals markets, and they should be. Years and decades of manipulation in the gold and silver markets and platinum markets, and maybe even the palladium markets. Excuse me, let me take a sip of water here real quick. Have distorted these markets vastly. And when I'm thinking distorted, especially with silver and gold more than likely, and maybe platinum and palladium, they've distorted them to the downside in a huge way. Okay, so I think at some point these markets are just going to explode to the upside. And this kind of quiet right now, I guess you could call it the quiet before the storm, in my opinion. We may be seeing some really, really massive moves upward in the silver price and the gold price. I think it'll happen in gold first. Gold will go way up. The gold to silver ratio will widen dramatically, and then silver will follow. As I've told a lot of you folks over the years, where gold goes, silver will follow. So you silver guys really need to watch gold, even if you don't own much of it, because watch those ratios. Well, let's move into the 24-hour charts, and just fucking boring. I'm sorry, I'm going to just say it. Boring. Sideways overall. There's the green market, which is today, but what are we looking at? 1828 to same ranges we've been looking at, 1840. This has been happening with the price of gold here and silver, though that is a pretty dramatic climb. I got to admit, in the evening markets too, that's kind of weird. Take a look at that. This climb happened in the overnight markets before the CRIMEX New York NYMEX open, and I bet you the same thing in silver. Let's take a look. Well, yeah, the climb happened in the evening markets in silver as well, and the Globex markets, which I find kind of strange. So all kinds of strange stuff happening out there. And as I've said, I think we're over sub $20 silver. We're over sub $1,800 gold, unless I have a caveat. Unless we see a massive overnight hemorrhaging in markets like we did in 2008, big drops without the support of the Fed or the plunge protection team. I believe that we're in pretty stable territory right now. Metals are holding their own as they should be. Premiums have dropped in silver, as I talked about last night, which provides a great buying opportunity for a lot of you folks as well. Let's take a look at the equities markets. And you know what? I'm not going to look at stock markets because it's kind of sideways. But interestingly enough, it looks like COVID stocks across the board. This is my own little fake faux portfolio that I put together on Seeking Alpha of stocks, popular stocks and bonds, and also in the banking section, COVID section. More or less, looks like COVID stocks were up across the board today, as were health and death stocks. Death stocks there's this one funeral stock that I actually like here, which is, I don't even have any health stocks, but SCI, which is their funeral services. It looks like they're up a little bit today. Hey, listen, everyone's got to die. I think that's SCI's been around for a while. I'm not pushing stocks. I'm just kind of showing you some things that I have in my stuff. Retail was up a little bit, as was technology. And man, I think I hear my girlfriend yelling at me from across the room. I'm doing the video late again, and she always does these great dinners, and she's going to kill me if I make this one cold. So forgive me if I rush through this real quick. All right, I've been giving a lot of love to JM Bullion, and I always give love. JM, APMEX, SD, I advertise to beat them here in my local brick and mortar store. So if you live in South Florida and you want to buy precious metals, I'm the guy to see. I will beat APMEX, JM, and SD Bullion on. This is my advertising part, so forgive me for this. I got to do this. So I will beat APMEX, JM, and SD Bullion on their what will I say, the lowest premium industry recognizable products that they have out here. And again, I don't recommend Eagles because they're overpriced. I don't recommend 90% U.S. silver coin because it's overpriced. I've been recommending bars and stuff, but I'm going to give a little love to SD Bullion here. Another company, not quite the 800-pound gorilla that JM Bullion is, but still another company out there that has good prices like APMEX. So I've got their site up tonight. And again, folks, I like APMEX, I like SD, I like JM Bullion, but if you have a good local dealer that's within a couple hours traveling distance to you, I highly recommend that you go to them, because chances are they'll beat APMEX, SD, and JM Bullion if they have half a brain, and you'll get a better deal, and you'll keep that money local. Remember, all you South Florida folks that spend money here at my store, I pay that to my local employees, I pay that to me, and that all gets spent back in the community. If SD Bullion is in another state that you live in, or APMEX or JM, you ain't helping your community at all. And again, your local dealer should be able to beat these guys. So that's the end of my advertising. I wanted to talk a little bit about premiums last night. I did talk about premiums on silver bullion coming down dramatically. Price of silver is really super cheap. I know some of you guys have said, Brian, I already bought silver, man. I bought in. But for you folks that are new and haven't bought in, you're in a lucky level right now. You're in a lucky spot. No one can guess the timing on premiums and low silver prices. So that's no one's fault. But if you are in the if you can buy right now, you've got two great things going for you. You've got super low premiums on generic products, not on in-stock silver. Let me just go there. I'm going to go to SD Bullion. You've got super low premiums on 100-ounce bars, kilo bars, 10-ounce bars, 1-ounce bars, premiums on 90%, and silver Eagles and stuff is way too high. I wouldn't recommend any of my folks buying, but there's some great deals out there. So if you haven't bought in, you're new, and you're going to buy in right now, lucky devil you. You're getting a great opportunity to buy at low premiums and, like I said, low gold prices and silver prices. So, buy what you can. That's my opinion. Buy low, sell high. That's the whole idea. GATA.org, I haven't put them up for a little while, but Switzerland imports Russian gold for the first time since Ukraine war. This ties into what we talked about last night, which was the commodities. We're moving into a new era where countries that have commodities, countries that have things products that people, not just products, but people, the things that make products, commodities. People that have commodities like Russia, like United States has a lot of commodities, but we've legislated and regulated ourselves so much that we're not allowed to bring these commodities up without massive pollution issues or green issues or this issue or that issue. I mean, think about it, really. However, there's something to be said that we've used up everyone else's resources before we started to go after our own, but still we're not going after our own. This country has great resources at cheap prices, but countries like Russia, China have great resources. And again, we're moving away from a fiat, paper-driven world, paper banking-driven world, to a world where what you own that can make products. The commodities that you own that people want are going to be the most valued, more value than digital credits, more value than paper currencies, more value. So we're moving into a different era here. We're moving away from fiat being your strength, fiat being a country's strength, and fiat being a country's way to pay everything, to hey, this is what I've got. This is almost like a trade type of situation. But I'm moving away from there. Switzerland imports more Russian gold for the first time since Ukraine war. More than 3 tons of gold. I did the math here, and it's pretty cool. The conversion of 3 tons is 87,499.92 ounces. Let's do the conversion here on what Russia just recently sold to Switzerland. And again, think about this. Russia is backing their currency, backing their country with commodities that they own, oil, gold. Russia's a very commodity-rich country, as is China, and again, as is the United States, Australia, and these other places, all right? But let's take a look at what that really means. I'm going to do Syria here. Hopefully Syria works. 87,499 times. It looks like Syria's just sitting there staring at me. Hang on one second. Let's try this one more time. 87,499 times 1,840. I'm assuming it's 1840. Equals. Uh-oh, I just blew Syria again. Oh, don't
I didn't find anything for it.
Yeah, I didn't think you did after I said I blew Syria. Sorry. And my voice is not going to help. This is embarrassing. Ready? Hold on. 87,499 times 1,840 equals.
The answer is 160,998,160.
$160,988,000 worth of gold that was just sold to Switzerland. And that certainly is not hurting Russia at all. And Switzerland needs the gold. They've always... Hey, listen, Switzerland's always been neutral. Well, anyways, going to get out of there. I thought that article was interesting. As far as ZH, what's going on out there in the political world, this is just sad. This man is just, he's half the crooked politician that I remember when I was young. So I shouldn't say that, but that's just from cognitive decline, in my opinion. But no less, refiners, gas stations for record prices, cost of saving democracy. Bullshit. And this was interesting. Only 11% of Americans believe that this administration's narrative, that this guy right here is to blame. Well, it seems like some Americans are waking up at least. Again, I'm not Republican, I'm not Democrat, I'm a freaking American, and so are you. And what's most important to Americans? Our Constitution, and making sure that we all do well. We all pull together, regardless of our skin color and our religion. We're all Americans. We all pull together and make this country great. These fuckers that try to separate us, divide us by religion, color, whatever it may be, you know what? They all need to go. Just my opinion. And you know me with my opinion. Not much to talk about. I got to move out of here because I know my meal's getting cold, and I heard her scream at me from the other side of the room. And yes, I'm doing this from my home office tonight. That's why the coin's been falling off the desk. So, all right. Let's just move out of here and talk about yesterday's video, which was silver coin and bar premiums crash. And again, great. Nobody has timing when it comes to when silver going to be low. When is premiums going to be low? I don't have a crystal ball of that, neither do you, but right now it's happening. Both things are kind of coinciding with each other. Premiums are getting real good on generic products, and silver price is real low. Great opportunity to buy for any new folks that are stepping in. And some of you folks that are already stepped in and saying, oh, I could have bought cheaper. Even if you bought at a higher price, relax. You're bought in. You couldn't time the bottom, nor could I, and I've been doing this a long time. You can't time the top exactly, right? Ultimately it's all going to be up, so just ride it out even if you bought it higher. And again, if you're lucky enough to buy at these low levels, great. Michael, what's up? Bitcoin, I agree with you. Paul, what's going on there? Charles Taylor, and listen, I'm running through this real quick, but one thing, if you're new to my videos, I definitely recommend you comment. I read every comment, and I occasionally get a chance to answer each one personally, but if not, we get a lot of people that comment and talk with each other out there, and I think that's the greatest way to learn is communicate with others besides me. So I like to see the commenters out there commenting on each other. Don't think the online dealers are more on ass because of free shipping insurance. That's possible. You can't. Nothing is for free, Tom. That's absolutely true. Hey, Silas, Silas, what's going on? And I talked about ammo stocking and stacking ammo and stuff like that. And my reasons why I like ammo, it's just a way to shoot cheaper in the future. I'm not preparing for a zombie apocalypse because I don't think anyone could ever win. You just might as well put the gun in your mouth. I'm sorry, I don't mean it that way, but you know what I'm talking about. Unless, of course, you can go to a peaceful area where it's quiet and enjoy the rest of your life without the idiots shooting at each other. 24 karat, you absolutely get credit, my man, for golden rule. And happy birthday, Big 70, 24 karat. 70, dude, that's awesome. Gold Addict, it says, long time, next stop, 8,000. I got to admit, I might be looking at Bitcoin at some point. I don't think it's going to go away. I know some of you do, but, I'm not going to shit on that asset. I think that there is a certain amount of the population there that will keep that asset alive and that believe in it. And Bitcoin is the oldest and the best, I guess, out of all the coins, in my opinion. Again, I'm going to get trashed on that as well. So your local coin store is going to starve if they keep asking that price, Jacob. And I saw there were a few replies there. I agree with the rest of you. If your coin shops are too stubborn to come down in their price, sell the shit at a lower price and just replace it and suck up the loss if you paid too much. I mean, that's the way it goes. You make money going up, especially if you're not hedged as your coin shop. But come on, guys. You other coin shop guys out there, listen to me, man. Be competitive with the online guys. You have the ability to do it. You can make some freaking money. And why push the money outside your community? All right, that's it. Manipulation. Yep, nothing to see here, folks. Evil Button Banks. Yep, strong man. What's up, dude? Appreciate you. Vlad must be a porn guy. I'm gonna let's just remove him. All right, we'll get rid of Vlad. Welco Services, yes. Rasputin, the word quiet, somewhere quiet. You got what I was saying there, Rasputin, or Welco Services. Quiet. Oh gosh, you're making me blush. Astonishing brilliance, no, dude, not at all. I gotta take a sip here. What I have is just observation skills and being able to independently think for myself. And the fact that I don't watch corporate news, haven't watched it in 2008. My narrative is my own from what I create by learning from other people out there. They have all kinds of opinions, not just a single opinion, and not just the official narrative. That's why I'm smart as I am, and as you, sir. Oh man, there's another one we got to delete. Medical technician. He's looking for a job. Part sex, part medical. Sorry, remove. It's funny, you get to watch this. How many people show you removing comments as they're going along here? Some dealers do have online. So again, that's what we talked about last night, gentlemen. Is the higher spot prices that AppMax, JM, and SD have been showing of late, which have been 20 to 25 cents higher than what I think they're actually buying at on the ask level. But you know what? Maybe nothing's for free. Maybe that extra higher spot price than your local dealer is just an indication of some free stuff they're giving you. I didn't say Joe Teeth, Tree Climber. I said Joe Teeth. Joe Teeth. I was kind of making a play on Joe Biden and teeth, like, Juneteenth. Anyways, thank you, Tree Climber. Always nice to see you posting. I appreciate it. And you too, Heart of Texas. Michael Cool, what's up? That's absolutely true. And you too, sir, Mr. Something One. I got to be careful here what I say. I just don't. And Linda Compton, always nice to see you commenting. We have beautiful resources here. And you're right. We absolutely, you nail it. I've always known this. We've bought other countries. This is why our country is so rich. We bought other countries' resources at super cheap prices using what? Fiat currency. Anyways, thanks for watching, folks. This is Brian Kuzma with Commercial Blvd Coins. And of course, you know that I say think for yourself and question authority. And question yourself first. You can't question authority, you can't question others, and you can't think for yourself without first wondering where the information, where the data that is in your mind that led you to believe what you believe and your opinions came from. question that first. Do your own research, because sometimes your parents and sometimes corporate news and sometimes your school and sometimes your government is wrong, and you may not have right information. So anyways, that's my opinion. I'm sticking with it. Thanks for watching. This is Brian Kuzma. If you live in South Florida, I'm the guy to talk to. And call us at 954-493-8811 anytime between 10 and 4, Mondays through Fridays. Happy to help you out and give you great prices on gold and silver. If you don't live in my area, hey, find yourself a good local dealer. Good night now.